Limited. Okay, speaking of limited, I'm so excited about this. We do not have many. It is the absolute best value that we have ever offered from Wolfgang Puck. With, again, new technology. So not only are you gonna have the most delicious, beautiful bread, you are gonna get the most tender bread. That's always been the biggest complaint with bread makers. Like, you just can't get it to be that perfect softness. It's always a little bit too tough. Okay, this is a bread maker plus plus plus. You can make yogurt in here. You have a little, holder at the top here that you can put your nuts in. You can go ahead and put your candies in. You can go ahead and bake a cake in this. You can do sourdough. You can do gluten-free. You can do white. I mean, you name it, plus plus. $162.95. Here's our colors that are available for you. We have this either in the red or what we're calling, if we can just, the mint green. Okay, so those are the two shades that are available. We don't have many as I started off this presentation. In fact, I have fewer than 350. So we have a lot to share with you. Our fabulous Marianne Getz is standing by. Great to see you. Works one-on-one with Wolfgang. Okay, Marianne, I said to you when I chatted with you earlier, like, are you kidding me? The ultimate favorite bread maker at this value. And I hate calling it a bread maker because it does so much. Great to see you, my friend.
Oh, it's so great to see you. Welcome to my kitchen. I haven't chatted with you in a long time, but it is a great day, Lynn. When things are on sale and it means we're coming out with new things, it is the best day for all of us gadget people to jump in and get something for a really great price. I'm such a gadget person. Greg always says, where are you going to put it? And I always tell him, I'll find room, don't worry. But if you want homemade bread, but you've never done it before, or maybe you're about my age and you remember in the 70s when bread makers came around, and yeah, they seemed like it was a great idea and it smelled good, but the bread was so hard that came out of them that you were like, oh, I don't know about that. It wasn't that special. Well, technology has changed, and leave it to Wolfgang to get on board with that technology and jump in and make something that's not only easy because you just dump the ingredients in and press the button, but no, this is something that delivers bread that's worth it. When you make a vertical loaf, Lynn, something magical happens. It lets it be soft and tender and perfect every single time. So it truly is special. It is not like bread makers of old. And what's so neat about this technology is when you build a vertical loaf and then you tip it on its side to cut it, you don't need the huge amount of space. And if that's ringing your bell saying, oh, good, if it doesn't take up a lot of space, I can buy more. Yep, that's true. And if this looks good to you, this is you in just a few days if you order it today. You're making your own homemade gluten-free sourdough, good old-fashioned white bread like somebody like maybe your grandma used to make, but it also does jam and yogurt and all kinds of other things. Cakes, we haven't even gotten to the beginning of that, but this is as good as it can get, Lynn. And I know if you were here, I know you would eat that because it smells amazing.
In 2 seconds, Marianne, and here's a quick update. Already, people know it's Wolfgang Puck. It is one of the smallest in the footprints of any bread maker. You have every special feature. If you want to make it quick bread, you can do that. Like we said, white bread, whatever it may be, or a cake, which we'll get into in just a minute. How many, Rob, now in the red? I have 75 left. That's it. Think about weddings. Think about your bread maker you maybe have or already, you know, always wish for one. This was almost $100 more, and that was a discounted value. So right back to Marianne, because just what I'm seeing here in front of me, I mean, the jam, you can make that in here, correct?
Oh, you can. There's a jam function. You just dump in fruit and sugar and some pectin and lemon. Press the button, and an hour and a half later, you have jam. My favorite setting of all, Lynn, is number 7, which is just dough. That's the one I make pizza on every week. And being married to the Getz family, the dinner rolls are a big thing. And so just on the dough setting, I'm able to make that whole sheet pan full of rolls using the dough setting. That's number 7. But it has a whole bunch of settings, from basic white bread to quick, which is like, say, banana bread, French bread, ultra fast, whole wheat, cake. Yes, that means cake, like brownies, cakes. Dough, my favorite, basic sweetbread, jam. I'll show you that in a second. Mix and stir means it'll mix it up but not do anything else. Gluten-free, which is a totally different and unique setting. Custom, like if you want to set it to go off with your coffee maker. And then yogurt. And the gluten-free is amazing. You can't just make gluten-free bread, Lynn, in anybody's bread maker. It has to have that setting. It's a really interesting way to bake that's safe for you if you need to avoid gluten. It'll look much more like a cake batter, and it needs one quick mix, one rise, and one bake. But the bake has to be really long because it's a very wet dough. So if you're tired of going to the store, only finding gluten-free in the frozen section, and then it tastes like a hockey puck, This is what you can be up for, where it's something that's so moist and so delicious. This is a multigrain one that we did on the gluten-free setting. It's good enough that you just serve it to everyone, and all they say is that was delicious. You don't have to tell them it was gluten-free. And if you love a good old-fashioned everything bagel with cream cheese, this is the best breakfast. That whole grain, gluten-free bread with cream cheese and everything but the bagel mix, that is as good as it gets.
I want to jump through the screen right now, Marianne, and be right next to you. That looks so incredibly delicious. And you're doing this in a matter of seconds. That's the beauty. That's what the bread maker does all the hard work for you. Instead of having to get the dough and rolling it out and all the other, you know, obviously the reason why we don't make fresh bread, because it's just too difficult, it takes too long. That's what a bread maker, when they first came out, like you were saying, in the 70s, was so ingenious. We're talking Wolfgang Puck here. We're talking the man who was innovative, obviously, in cooking, and he wanted to find the best technology, Marianne, that make it not a big bold unit, but something that was gonna have all the great functions and something that was gonna be the biggest complaint. I love my bread maker, but I only can eat it that one day when I make it. No, this technology keeps that bread soft. It's not tough, whatever it might be, day after day after day. So that is why it has been so beloved. Final call on red. And then the other color is this fun, fashionable mint green, but right back out to Marianne and see what else she's got cooking up and going on.
And I just want to show you really quick, when you make a homemade recipe or even a bread mix that you buy at the store, because all of them work, you're going to always add the liquid ingredients first. So that was the water, a little bit of oil, salt, sugar. Here's the flour. And then the yeast goes on top. And it's so easy, because if you can read and you can measure the ingredients according to what it says, you can make homemade bread whether you've been scared of yeast your whole life or not. But this is how easy it is. It's all ready to go. The mode button lets me scroll. I'm going to make a basic bread. This is the one that's in the cookbook that we wrote for it, called 2020 Pandemic Yeast Bread. And so we're going to go to number 1 and then just hit start. You can choose your crust. You can choose your color. But this is what's so cool, Lynn. And let's say you wanted to make that a pecan raisin cinnamon bread. This little hopper, it's so cool. It holds a half a cup. You put whatever you want in it. And then if you follow me here, at the right time, it's going to deposit them right into the mix. So the pieces stay nice. They don't get too small and ground up. They'll be about like that, which is perfect. So truly, Wolfgang is an innovator. He thinks of everything. And that's why this is the perfect day for all of our wonderful customers. You are so smart and so savvy. This is the day to get something at a great price where you can brag and say, guess what I got? And I didn't break the bank doing it. Yeah. But I love it. If you love homemade jams, Lynn, that's one of my favorite things to give ever, because you just add the ingredients. An hour and a half later, you've got homemade jam to put in jars, tuck in the freezer, and give away. And it doesn't make just jam. It makes perfect jam.
Yes, and you can see that there. And that was one of the things that was so beloved from the customer reviews. All right, almost, what are we looking at? Oh, close to, well, over 50% off. That is the only reason it's on clearance. 2 colors, well, the red is just about gone. Those recipes I was looking through too, give you some wonderful, wonderful ideas. And then, Marianne, the way your house smells, there's nothing like fresh bread in the house, waking up to, or again, just having company coming over and smelling that, and then having the most delicious bread, whatever kind that you want. There was days, we were talking about the original bread maker. I mean, you were only able to make white bread, Marianne. Didn't have all these special buttons where you could go ahead and make, you have your dough, and then, everything from your sourdough to raisin bread to baking cakes to making homemade jam, and less than 3 dozen now in the red, and I want to say fewer than 250. Yeah, okay, now remaining. They're all going very quickly. Oh, what do you got there, Marianne?
This is homemade yogurt, which is nothing more than some milk and a little bit of yogurt to get started, but the bread maker has a built-in feature for it. It's finicky to make, even though it's simple ingredients, and the problem making it at home without a machine like this is it needs a precise temperature for a precise amount of time, and if you jostle it or you don't do it just right, believe me, it doesn't turn into yogurt. It just looks like sour milk. I know, because I've done this many times, but this makes perfect natural yogurt. There's nothing that tastes better than homemade, because it has that pure freshness of the milk, and if that sounds good to you, this is what you should get. If you just want to have a great day, maybe it's been really rough for you, the smell of homemade bread in your home, it just smells like a better time, like someone that loves you has been nearby. And I think it's wonderful to be able to pass that on, to make a loaf that didn't take me any time. I just had to dump the ingredients in. Take that to a neighbor that's in need. Maybe it's your children, your grandchildren, or make this with them when they come over. Because Lynn, this is what it's all about, that staff of life that makes us happy. But now with Wolfgang Puck and the technology, poof, you add the ingredients and you're eating great homemade bread.
And I'm taking it a step further, the value. I can't stress that enough. And you can go online, look at all the different bread makers out there. There's a lot of unique features to this. Again, the fact that it's vertical, that's space saving. The fact that you can also make homemade yogurt, your jams. You have everything right there at a push of a button. So whatever it is, whether it's baking a cake, making a fresh sourdough bread, or raisin bread, or you want to do sesame, you want to do poppy, you want to, slice it thin, you want to slice it in a thicker way. However you want to do it, this does all the work. It does the magic for you. It provides that beautiful smell. I wish we had 500 of these, Marianne. I know we were just counting backwards. I want to say fewer than 200 now in the ordering process. Red just completely sold out. Grab that mint. I'm just thinking, I have so many weddings upcoming for spring. Listen, what better impressive gift to give to the bride-to-be and to the groom? Because any type of bread maker with all these different features is gonna be 2 times, 3 times the price and not have the Wolfgang Puck name to it.
You're right. I love this. I'm so proud of him for making it. And now so many more of us get to say yes to it.
I think we may have just lost a little audio there. I'm sorry if we did.
No.
Okay, there's that sweet voice. Fewer than 200. With everyone in the ordering process, this is on its way to completely selling out. FlexPay, here's the beauty. Less than $30 with your shipping. It's gonna be at your home in the next few days, and you have that just one time, Marianne. That's what I say. Make fresh bread in your home one time. And you're never ever, especially if you need gluten-free like you were talking about, you'll never go back to frozen. You'll never go back to store-bought. You know exactly what's in there. You're in control. Same thing with your yogurt. The cake looks delicious. You are wonderful. Thank you. What a quick presentation. But Marianne, you did it all, my friend. Showed us jam, showed us yogurt. Take care. Bye-bye, Marianne. Final call. We will keep you updated in the mint green.